For the last two seasons, we spent a lot of time with the Am I the Asshole format. We enjoyed that, and it's not going away, but we're introducing other similar kind of conversations. We're starting with this one, which I'm calling You're Not Crazy, but.
And I didn't know
By
this
the
was coming.
way,
So
this is a complete surprise to us. We have
yes.
no idea what's coming.
Well,
All
the
right.
way I kind of imagine this is like,
Let's
I
hear
think
it.
we all have behaviors that we think are normal until somebody provides an alternative perspective. Often that's, a partner, who is around you long enough and feels comfortable enough to be like, yeah, that's not how normal people think. So anyway, I figured I would take this opportunity to ask, is this normal? And then Gail and Dan can kind of help us figure out what's human and what might just be your nervous system working
Just
overtime. So.
right off the bat, I will tell you that I tend to try to never use the word normal. I tend to use the word normative
And I
because
will just simply tell you, normal's a setting on the dryer. So
yeah,
we're going to have a really big bandwidth for, yes, that's normative. But
right.
try us, Michael.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, so this is the first scenario I got for you. I keep rehearsing conversations that haven't happened yet. I'll be in the shower arguing with my
Normal.
boss.
Yeah, normal. Is this like a
Happens to
speed
everybody.
round?
We do it all the time.
Yeah, is this a speed round?
I mean, you could say more, but the reality is we
Yeah.
all have those conversations. And in fact, I once I heard it sort of give made akin to um, a normative experience that most people engage in, that would be maybe even on a slider, the kind of experience that someone who hears voices might have when they have a conversation.
Hmm.
That in fact the voices are existing in your head, you're taking on both parts, you're having an active conversation, especially when you're really keyed up, you're driving home and after a fight with your whoever, and you're like and you're like
You
really
fight with your
into it, that
whoever.
there may be some like, again, a slider experience. It's not actually hearing the voices, but again, there's that thought pattern that's happening in your head, and you're engaging in that and you're responding to it.
Gosh,
Not terribly dissimilar to someone who's hearing a voice and responding.
it is normative, and I will say that like I certainly do that myself in the car. I will freely admit to like muting the music or podcast I'm listening to and like holding forth and giving a speech or having a conversation and like if you pull up alongside me, I may be talking on the phone, but I may just be talking to myself. So
Yeah.
I hope, gosh, I really hope that's normative because it's something I do all the time. So
I mean,
Was there more to this, Michael, or did we just like cut the scenario off at the knees?
there's a little bit more, but it's
Okay,
okay. And,
tell us.
Dan, thank God for like the frequency and abundance of like, being able to talk in your car on the phone because you're right. I mean, it looks normal now.
it
In the
does.
in the 80s, if you saw somebody doing that, you'd be like, "Oh my God, what is going on over there?"
That's
So,
true.
all
That's
right,
true.
so all right, you guys addressed that part, right? Like the talking through an argument in your head. There's also replaying where you run back a conversation, right? And you're working through that, whether you're like thinking about a funny comment you made or how you spiraled for a couple of days about saying something and whether it sounded unprofessional or not. And then
Mm.
ultimately, kind of the question is like, is this anxiety? Is this perfectionism? Is this people pleasing? Is this hypervigilance? What is kind of
Yes.
driving those
Yeah.
things?
Yes,
Yeah.
the answer is that all of those things. It's that intersection, I think. Dan, you said yes right away too. Like what do you think is the biggest driver here?
I think it depends. I think it depends on the individual. I it just it's such a ubiquitous thing to kind of go through things in our heads and to say or to say them out loud when we're in private spaces. It's fine. It's I I really don't have any more. I think the answer to that is yes.
Yeah,
All of the above.
I think there's a point where it can become debilitating and problematic, and we certainly see and have those conversations with people in our office where they are spending a large amount of time, and I think that's where that normative conversation Yes, that's normative, but again, how much of the thing that you're doing is taking up of your day then maybe becomes,
Right.
fodder for treatment.
Are you using it to process feelings, cope with them better, deal with the emotion of the moment? Maybe in the case of an argument, pick apart the parts of it that were problematic for you? Or is this rumination? Is this going over and over and over
Right.
again, the same thing, and amping yourself up further or getting angrier at the person you had the argument with rather than working it through? And I think that's a really good point that
Right.
it can be really used for good in processing, or it can be used for maybe things that are less healthy through rumination.
Right. And so rumination being this process of that feels more stuck. I'm not actually going anywhere. I'm just kind of chewing over and over and over and over it again, as opposed to really a growth orientation, which is what did I do? Was that, really my best self? Do I have something to learn here? Something I could change or do differently? And then what do I do? If the answer is yes, I should have done it differently. Am I beating myself up for that and really becoming very hard on myself?
Hmm.
Which again may be the stuck point in rumination, or you go, yep, okay, well, flub that one, and I'm gonna do it differently next time.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting is that this is probably like that Alex Falcone segment of "Is it a scam? Yep." It should be "Is this normal? Yep."
Yeah.
And that was sort of what I heard in terms of the pacing in my head for sure.
Well,
Link
thank
in
you.
the
I
show
mean,
notes to
sometimes,
something from Alex Falcone because hilarious and so on point.
yeah. I mean, I think sometimes these little gut checks are helpful, though. You don't know. I think the benchmark. It's hard to know what that is, unless you ask. So, but
Well, and I think again to our earlier point, and I want to emphasize this is a lot of these behaviors are going to be normative in some amount. Is it normal for me to check the lock on my door?
Yes.
Yes. Is it normative to check it 3 times, 7 times, 15 times? Probably not, right? There is a line, and that line is sometimes a little blurry, but we
Hmm.
know that if you start spending excessive amounts of time during the day to the exclusion of other important roles and tasks in your life, that becomes the place where we want you in. We need to do some treatment. So I think of this as making your world bigger, right? These kinds of things often make your world smaller. And so our job is to make is to make your life more fulfilling and more well-rounded, not stuck on any one of these given things.
great. Well, thanks for the gut check there. I don't know if this will be a reoccurring segment, but maybe, who knows? A little dose of like, yes, it's normal, probably doesn't hurt. So,
Yeah.